Hey everybody, it's me, a 20-something-year-old nobody with a cartoon avatar who's come to complain about animated movies and have a heated argument with nobody in particular. Don't worry, I don't know how to make this animation rig cross its arms sarcastically yet, so we're safe for a while. I've been wanting to make a video on this topic for some time, but I've always approached it with a great deal of apprehension. It always felt like too much of an oversimplification to try to find one source for this problem, be it one person, one studio, or one movie. But it's clear to see that the problem is there, and there's no point in pretending it isn't. That problem, of course, is that people think they don't like animation. And I do mean that they only think that, because the fact of the matter is that animation is present in pretty much all visual media. Iron Man wouldn't be able to fly without animation. Obi-Wan Kenobi wouldn't have been turned into a creepy talking candlestick without animation. And your phone would just be a static image of a lock screen without animation. It's once the visuals get creative and interesting that people start to have an issue with it. Anytime a character moves in an unrealistic way or gets a little too expressive, that's when they label the movie as for babies. And that stinks. But why is it like that, I wonder? I'd say it comes down to the fact that while animation isn't always for kids, it is much more natural to use it to appeal to kids. If you sit your toddler down in front of a sitcom, they won't know what to think about it. They won't know which characters they're supposed to like, or which characters they aren't supposed to like, because they've got a limited frame of reference for human interaction. Most of the show will be lost on them. But hey, look! In cartoons, characters like SpongeBob have designs that naturally endear them to the viewers, and much of the comedy is conveyed through the visuals, so your limited language skills won't get in the way of your enjoyment. With a glance at a character's face, you know exactly what they're feeling, and the insane locations and physics that we get to see could never be replicated in live action. But once studios learned animation could be for kids, the more they started to believe it should only be for kids. And this became an easy excuse. Osmosis Jones didn't flop because parents didn't want to bring their children to see gross-out humor. It failed because the characters were all 2D. Treasure Planet didn't fail because it released at the same time as the latest Harry Potter movie. It failed because it didn't look realistic enough. And I think that's what really irks me about the entertainment industry's affinity for the photorealistic. I have no problem with new live-action movies being made, but these remakes of classic animated movies present a few issues. The general public's reception of these remakes physically pains me. When the live-action Beauty and the Beast came out, everyone and their mom was gushing over it. You couldn't walk to the store without hearing, "This was the way Mrs. Potts was always meant to look, and I always knew they would cast Gaston as that guy who looks like Orlando Bloom but is not Orlando Bloom." I keep hearing this every time there's a discussion on the matter, that the remakes are the way the movies were always meant to be, that the animated classics were just stepping stones to get to the real movie, that these characters and stories are great, but we just gotta get those pesky cartoon visuals out of the way to appreciate them. Dude, no. Those cartoon visuals are the reason we haven't forgotten these characters. Gaston's larger-than-life appearance was integral to the movie's point about appreciating inner beauty over outer beauty, and the expressiveness of Simba was what endeared him to us, and kept us on his side as he went through the traumatic events of the movie. But now, Gaston is just some dapper dandy, and Simba is just a cat, in a movie about cats getting mad at other cats, which they already do all the time in real life. Which leads me, of course, to the Genie. My goodness. There really is no replacing Robin Williams, is there? His spontaneous line delivery and zany style of comedy, combined with the master animators at Disney's willingness to bend and stretch the character, to do things never before seen in any media, led to a character who can never truly be replicated. Not in a meaningful way, at least. So, when you see Will Smith's Genie dancing and singing, and it starts to feel a little empty to you, you know why. And it isn't because of Will Smith. I like Will Smith. He's got this carefree personality and charisma that makes him a pretty good choice for the Genie, honestly. Criticizing his ability to teleport around and grow extra heads is like criticizing a dolphin for its ability to recite the Gettysburg Address. Don't get me wrong, I think the visual effects animators did a great job of using CGI to liven things up here, but no matter how good the CGI is, there will always be a distinction between the objects on screen that are real and the objects that were added in. The original never had to contend with this problem, as the Genie was animated on the same paper as everyone else. No matter how crazy his movement got, he still felt exactly as real as any of the other characters. Again, I'm not blaming any studio for this. Disney makes these movies in this way because that's what the general public seems to be asking for with their money. And like it or not, the money is relevant because entertainment is a business. It would be amazing to see the financial aspect of movie production entirely ignored in favor of creativity. But at the end of the day, actors, producers, and VFX artists all have to be paid. And really, who can blame Disney for wanting to take advantage of all the nostalgia surrounding their classic movies? There are few companies that have such a loyal fan base. And besides, it isn't like they can just Remaster the original movies, re-release them in theaters, and market them as a limited time event for people to go see. Wait.